Now let's begin the conversation. At a time when public confidence in institutions is often questioned, an act of honesty by a Nigerian police officer in Borno State is drawing commendation. A police officer named Muhammad has returned 2.6 million naira that was mistakenly transferred into his bank account. According to the state police spokesperson Nahum Daso, the officer reported the unexpected credit alert to his bank, where steps were taken to ensure the money was traced and returned to its rightful owner. Gentlemen, this is a clear example of honesty and professionalism, especially at a time when public trust in law enforcement is often low. I mean, your thoughts on this, Asuko?
No, this shows that we still have good Nigerians,
True.
you know, and not just Nigerians, but police officers who are trustworthy. And just like he said it's part of the training that he got from the police college. And when I was listening, I was saying, now, police college, this man looks different from the people, some of them. You know, we know we have bad eggs.
Yes, sure.
You know, particularly everywhere. You know, but if they teach them this in police college, you know, it means that some of them are not really learning anything, you know. But for him, he was able to exemplify honesty, and not just honesty, trust, you know, in the system. So it means that even some people can still trust police officers, even when you see them outside. You know, don't think that all, because one actually did something bad for you yesterday, it means all of them are like
don't
that.
paint them.
No,
Don't paint all of them with the same
can't.
brush. No.
You can't use the same brush on all of them. You know, and we hope that at some point he will get a national award for this. You know, if not national, at least the state, wherever he comes from. You know, he should be recognized so that generations after him, you know, and people around him and people who are listening to us today will know that no matter what you are going through, okay, you still have good Nigerians. He's not just the first person. I know there's a particular cleaner who earns about 30,000, who returned about 4.something million in Maiduguri, you know, there. And we have so many people, so many good people in Nigeria.
And let's not forget that some people, maybe when he wanted to make that decision, some people, why would you do that? You're a foolish person.
Exactly.
Why would you?
Yeah, people would discourage him. You know, they will say, you have not even, your children's school fees is there, you know, and things like that. They will tell him, look at, you don't even have clothes, your wardrobe is, you have tattered clothes and things like that, you know. People would always bring that, you know, voice. Yeah. Those dissenting voices will always be there, to, you know, to tell him, to discourage him from being honest.
Doing the right thing.
You know, and but I think he did the right thing for him to have, you know, called his bank to say, no, return that money, is not mine. And this should also serve as not a lesson, but that we have good Nigerians. Investors should be hearing these kind of stories. That no matter what, if you come to Nigeria, your investment is as good as, you know, safe. You know, that we have
absolutely. Now, looking at what Asuko said, beyond commendation, do you think the Nigerian police should recognize or even celebrate him to institutionalize integrity?
Shockingly, I tend to disagree with us, especially with Asuko, why this should even be news. Let me explain. Okay. Now, what I'm saying is, growing up, I'm sure Asuko will remember this. I'm trying to sound like an older man. We were told that when you see something on the ground, you understand, you're even going to turn to a cat. In other words, it's a normal values that we're brought up with. Okay. But this is, for me, I feel why this is making headline is to point out that there is an erosion of values. It shouldn't be something that should be celebrated. It should be our normal lifestyle. I'm not sounding religious now.
I understand.
I'm just saying that, do you realize that when you get an alert or from your office and they overpay you and you don't declare, do you know that it's a sackable offense?
Exactly.
You understand? Because it's a normal lifestyle that you got a credit that does not belong to you For God's sake, if you don't declare it, you are liable to being called a thief. Because there's nothing like you've done something extraordinary. So I want to believe that this man is just living a normal lifestyle. For me, what is news there is that why should this be a headline? It's to tell you that average Nigerians have come to see that it's an awoof. Because even if it is 26 million, so I'm trying to paint a picture, that it's not about the figure. It's about the fact that this is what we should teach our children. This is what we should tell them, that what doesn't belong to you doesn't belong to you. Because if you say, oh, you have a chartered clothes, you have this one, and you end up buying it, will you have that joy that this thing was not worked for? This thing was not your own. Somebody somewhere is crying. Somebody somewhere, probably that's the last money, or that's the money it has been saving for many years. So I'm just saying that it's a wake-up call to all of us that this should be a normal thing. If you forget your money inside a taxi, the taxi man should look for you. Should remember the number that called you when he got you. I'm saying this because I give an example. When we went to Dubai, and my wife forgot our phone inside the taxi. That was our first visit. We were so scared. Hey, phone, blah, blah, blah. The security man in the hotel we were staying just said, okay, let's check the CCTV camera. Which car was carrying you? They traced the number plate, gave a call because all these vehicles are registered. Typical Nigerians, we want to appreciate the security man for a job well done. We want to appreciate the taxi man. And they said, no.
Oh, really?
This is normal. If we don't return it, we'll get into trouble. So I'm just saying.
Okay, but another thing is, can stories like this meaningfully, improve public trust in the Nigerian police?
Yes, I understand where Kayode is going to, I'm bringing my own perspective is based on how the country is presently. Because everybody feels that anybody that you see is corrupt.
Exactly.
You
understand?
And
Which shouldn't be. You understand? And that
so
is how
return regularly.
Yes, and that is why, and that is where I'm bringing my own argument from. My argument is so that anybody that is watching us outside these shows should know that we have honest people in Nigeria. We have honest people, inside 220 million Nigerians, if that is the original figure, okay, we still have like more than 200 and something million Nigerians who are honest. And this man is one of them, And just like three of us that we are here, because we are honest. If I see anything that is not mine, I know that it's not mine, I'll return.
Exactly.
Because that is how I was brought up.
You left your phone. Must you take it?
That is how...
Must you even switch off the phone?
Exactly.
You understand? Because some people, they
sometimes,
even if it is a Palasa phone that you drop, that you're supposed to return, somebody will still switch it off and then go and sell. So, but we have somebody who, apart from what we are hearing today, the insecurity, the politics, at least this is good news. Because BKO will always say, always celebrates successes, no matter how small.
Yes.
You understand? So this, to me, is a good success.
That man has needs that money can actually satisfy.
Exactly. So,
but instead of satisfy,
he decided
to do the right thing.
I think it should be commended. I think it's
something. Right thing should be normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I know.
Right thing should be
yes, we know, because there are so many abnormal things that we are doing, which we think is normal, but it's not normal.
Exactly.
I understand.
I agree. But I just want to emphasize that this is what we grew up with.
Yeah.
And we have not stopped it.
That moment,
and we're not saying we are holier than people, but excuse me, even if it is 260 million, it is not my money.
Absolutely. All right, but gentlemen.
Like that. But this generation,
let's pass the button.
That is why we are telling this generation that honesty pays.
That's it.
You understand?
Yeah, they say honesty is the best policy. All right.